Hello again. Time for another video here. I've had kind of a busy day today, but first time me picking up my guitar today, so I'll figure I'll show my exercises and stuff like that. A couple of things I wanted to mention first, though. So yesterday I made two videos. Both videos I were making and stuff, my fingers were cold, which means I was a little uncomfortable when I was playing. So if you're not comfortable when you're trying to play a guitar and stuff, it can affect the way you play guitar. My fingers being cold made it harder for me to move my fingers around on the fretboard, as well as strumming, and it was affecting my ability to play. I asked a couple people how to fix this, or if cold fingers can't even be a problem, and they say yes. There's one guy I watch, he streams on Twitch quite a bit. I've joined his Discord. He'll use gloves that have the fingers cut out of it, so that way his fingers are still exposed, but he's got the gloves on to keep his hands warmer. So if you're trying to play a guitar and stuff and you're not comfortable, whether it be the way you're sitting or the way you're holding the guitar, or cold temperature, hot temperature, whatnot, it can affect the way you play your guitar, even in practice or learning a song or whatnot and stuff, which can inevitably even add up to the frustration that you build up when you're trying to play daily. But yeah, gloves can help. I use a space heater. Now the space heater I use, it does not have open coils on it. And what I mean by that is, so if you think of a toaster, you look inside of a toaster and stuff when you're toasting bread or whatever, you see the metal inside of it that ends up turning red. That would be what's considered an open coil. The space heater I use and stuff, the entire thing is cased in a metal case. So the coils that are getting hot in there are actually covered up. That way nothing can catch fire or anything like that. Also at the same time and stuff, the space heater I use, I only have it on when I'm actually in my room playing guitar. If I'm just sitting here watching TV or going to sleep and stuff, it's turned off. That way I don't have to worry about anything catching on fire. Space heaters have a tendency to where they will catch things on fire and stuff if you're not paying attention to them. So caution to a space heater. The other thing I wanted to mention was, so when I make these videos and stuff, if I'm sitting there trying to play along with a song, I use a headset. The reason I use a headset is because I know of such thing called the Digital Music Copyright Act. Now I don't know the full extent of this act or this law, but I do know it has something to do with playing somebody else's music in your own video, whether it be to promote what you're doing or to make money off of it or whatnot. So I don't have permission from anybody to use their music or their videos and stuff. So when I'm playing and stuff, if I'm using somebody else's music, I got a headset on to where it does not get filmed or heard in my videos. For others out there and stuff, like I said, I would strongly recommend checking into that law. Again, it's called Digital Music Copyright Act, before using a backing track or background music or whatnot to try to play with. It's completely up to you. I know it's a quite lengthy law. I looked into it once and stuff. Like I said, I haven't looked into it fully, so I don't fully understand it, but again, I take precautions and stuff. I use a headset to listen to the music, that way it's not heard on when I'm making my videos. But let's get to this. Like I said, this is the first time picking up the guitar today, so besides just doing my exercises, I'm also going to try to have a little bit of fun playing the guitar too, until I get to my next video where I'm trying to continuously practice the songs I've been playing. So jingle bells, but I have to look it up again because I forgot how to play it. Trying to remember the next part of that. Like I said, this is all just kind of exercise. I'm kind of mixing in things that I already know and stuff from certain songs, solos, whatnot, with some pentatonic, some scales that I also know. That's something I haven't played in a while. That song right there is originally actually played on piano. I kind of discovered it when I was doing scales. One of the scales that I'm actually doing right here is so every note in the musical alphabet actually has its own scale to it, but all the scales as far as the notes are concerned are the same way. Going from one fret to a second fret is what's known as a half a step in music theory. So you would have to actually go when you're playing a note, for instance, so this is an open A string, I'm playing a B, so the scale for a B note would be B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, I'm trying to remember the alphabet here, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, then back to a B. That's why I found that song right there, because I started playing the scales faster and I was like, hold up, I recognize that sound when I was playing it. And again, so a B scale would be like that and stuff, and the idea of the scales and stuff is not so much as much as getting used to finger placement. because you're pretty much sliding the same finger across. It's more like getting used to knowing the letters or the notes of music, as well as where those notes land on the fretboard. So like open D string for an E. Oops. It's E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then back to an E. So I was mentioning half steps and whole steps. So for most of your scales and stuff, it's always going to be starting again with the E. E, whole step to a F sharp, whole step to a G sharp, half step to an A, whole step to a B sharp. And I say a B sharp, even though you won't hardly ever hear that in music theory or in music, a B sharp, because a B sharp is actually a C. But when you're doing a musical scale as involving the notes and stuff, going from B back to B, you actually need to have each letter of the alphabet between the two. So B, C, D, E, F, G, and then from G it starts back over with A, and then you return back to the B. So the notes that we know from music and stuff just go from A to G. So once you get to G, you go back to A. So in this case, it's E, F sharp, G, and then back to the A, but we're skipping the A, which is right here, to A sharp, and there's your B and C, but we can't skip the B when you're talking about a musical scale there. So we go B sharp, C sharp sharp, I believe is what it's called, which is also the D. I think I messed that scale up. Let's go through this again. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp. So yes, I did mess that up a little bit. Been a little bit since I've practiced my scales. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So we go on a scale E, a whole step, which means we're skipping one fret. So a whole step, and then a half step. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then back to the E. Of course, if you're a beginner player and you may or may not know this and stuff, and I'll go through this again. So if your guitar is tuned to E standard, which on a daily basis you should be checking your guitar and stuff to make sure it is in tune. I don't check it that often because this particular guitar that I have doesn't necessarily come out of tune too far. It may be just a hair bit off a little bit here and there. Your cheaper guitars and stuff, you may have to tune them a little bit more on a daily basis. Your more expensive guitars, the wood or the material it's made of or whatnot and stuff, tends to hold up a little bit better. It's not really a big deal and stuff. I know the 30-minute, the guy that plays 30 minutes a day and stuff every day and records his videos and stuff, you can see him, he's adjusting his tuning knobs to try to keep his guitar in tune and stuff, and that's because he's playing in a cold environment and stuff like that, which I commend you on that stuff, because I had trouble playing with cold fingers yesterday, which is why I got my space heater here. But yes, on a daily basis and stuff, mine is set to E standard. You should always check and stuff and make sure your guitar is tuned once you get used to how often it stays in tune and stuff. Normally I gotta readjust mine maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks, maybe. The other guitar that I have, it's a little bit more difficult to adjust the tuning on it, just because it's got the lock up here and it's got a setup down here. Being a Floyd Rose system, it's got a whole complicated mess to deal with as far as tuning is concerned. This one's a lot easier. It doesn't have any locks or anything like that. Very much the strings go in up down here and they're right here. There's nothing holding them back in between. So when I turn, it automatically tightens up or loosens the string. I was always also told and stuff, when you are readjusting the tuning on your guitar and stuff, you should end the tuning with tightening, not loosening. So when you're trying to tune the guitar and stuff, always make sure you're tightening it to the spot you want to be. If it's too tight, then loosen it past the point of where it's supposed to go, and then tighten it back into its spot. That's just something I was told. Again, it's your personal preference and stuff on how you want to do it, but again, I would strongly suggest making sure that your guitar is in tune every day. It makes it to where it sounds right, which means that not only one of the songs you're playing and stuff sounding right, and the notes you're hitting sounding right, but also you're teaching your ear properly to begin with. But yes, so if we were to start with a D instead of the E, if we were to start with a D, it'd be the D, E, F sharp, G, A, B sharp, and which is actually a C, and this would be C sharp, but we need to move down one more, so it'd be C sharp sharp, and then back to the D. So from the D, which is the open D string, one full step to the E, another full step to the F sharp, half step to the G, full step to the A, full step to the B, full step to the C sharp sharp, and a half step back to the D. Music theory and stuff is a kind of a long process to get through and stuff. I can tell you it is kind of beneficial because it will teach you a number of things. It'll teach you not only the musical alphabet, how to play them on the guitar, where all the notes are on the guitar when you have your guitar set to E standard tuning like mine is. But it'll also teach you and stuff about the G chord, the C chord, D chord, A chord, C chord, E flat chord, A flat chord, D flat chord, and I'm sure there's many others. It also gets into why these are called these particular chords. It'll also, eventually, once you get far enough into it, it'll start teaching you about bar chords. As well as power chords. And you'll find this stuff once you get down here to this 12th fret where the double dots are right there and stuff, that the rest of the guitar and stuff mimics the top half. So whatever it is from here down to here, to these double dots or the 12th fret, from there down, it's just the same as up here. So basically, if you took the neck of the guitar and folded it in two and stuff, the top, this part right here would line up with the dots right there, and it would all be the same. So, and you can continue the scale down. So if you were to start with a D, again, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and unfortunately I'm out of frets. I'd have to go another full step, so I'm out of frets right there. That's why we don't tend to use this right here part of the guitar to learn the scales, because you can get through all the scales from the open fret, open string to the 12th fret right there. So I think the last thing I was on was learning about triads in music theory, which is something like that and stuff. And there's quite a bit on triads to learn. I haven't gotten through it all. I know that each triad has a shape to it and stuff. Most of them are pretty well the same. And so you get to what's known as I think this is a C triad. I can't remember. I think it's A, B, C. So no, that's G. So A, B, C. So yeah. C triad, I think that's what that is. It's because the first thing that I'm hitting, or the first note you hear and stuff when I strum the strings, is the C. C triad, and there's also a diminished, an augmented, and a minor. 4 different types of triads for one particular note. There's quite a bit in that. So, learning music theory and stuff, like I said, it teaches you pretty much every different direction of the alphabet as far as music is concerned. Which can be beneficial, can help and stuff. It's not really going to so much help with keeping your fingers in place and stuff, but if you maybe are better off knowing what the letters are and stuff, or the notes and stuff of particular frets, you might have a better understanding and stuff. Okay, so I need to slide my fingers down to the B. Well, I remember where the B is, it's right there, or whatever. I'm not saying that's actually where it is, but kind of a picture type of thing. So something else I kind of learned too and stuff. I don't know if beginner players and stuff are familiar with this at all. So a lot of what you see me play and stuff is most of the time just chords or notes or whatnot and stuff. When I hit a solid chord like that and stuff, something like what AC/DC does in Highway to Hell, it's the A chord right there. Well, once you hit the A chord and stuff, you're supposed to mute it. I'm using my palm to do that. And then I'll play something like this, which actually requires more strings and has a weird shape on the fingers. I'm still using my hand right here to mute the strings after I do that. So besides palm muting or finger muting, where you just take the pressure off your finger and stuff after you play a note, or there's also what's known as palm muting, where you're so you can kind of still hear those notes being played out, or that power chord being played out, but it's kind of muted a little bit with my palm sitting back here in the back, just barely touching those strings. It's a way of being able to play it kind of softly and stuff and gradually build up into a much louder sound. So something I picked up about a week or 2 ago and stuff from one of Marty Music's videos that he was showing. Let's see if I can't do it again. I can't remember exactly what he was calling it and stuff, but he was kind of getting into that a little bit and stuff, kind of showing just a different pattern of playing a pentatonic scale. And there's a number of different types of scales like that. You got major blues scales, minor blues scales, jazz scales. Jazz is more done on woodwinds, but you can still play a little bit of jazz and stuff on your own guitar too. So you just kind of got to look into it and figure out how to do it. There's many things that are possible on the guitar, so besides just learning to do that right there and stuff. Once you get that down, you can play it really fast and mix it up. There's a billion combinations right here. Well, I don't know if there's a billion, but a lot of combinations you keys right there. So that's going to be the end of my exercise and practice and stuff. I'll get to these songs and stuff. I'll try to make another video today. So until then, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them there and stuff. I don't mind trying to answer them, help out and stuff. If you're struggling with something and you need something shown or whatnot and stuff, that's kind of how I picked up a lot of this stuff, especially the Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good song and stuff. I watched other videos on how this was done, so I understood it and stuff, because the tablature was kind of confusing to me at first. So, you know, which is why I don't actually use my first finger to start that. I use my middle finger, because my first finger comes up here. It's a shape, a finger shape. So I'm literally, this is the shape of my fingers are gonna be and stuff. So, and I haven't gotten to where I can play that just as fast as what Chuck Berry does, but practice makes perfect. So I'll try to do another video later on today, but for now, there's that one.